Hello. Can you hear me? So, for those of you joining right now, um, the new system I am testing is this video encoder. Just on Wi Fi, it just does not work well. So, I have my Canon camera, the one I usually use right now, plugged in over HDMI out into this wireless video encoder. I just don't have switches anywhere to plug it in. I'm using the iPad as the controller, so I can't plug in Ethernet straight into the iPad. Hello, Delvin. Hopefully, you can still hear me fine because the audio is coming straight into the iPad without. So the audio is hardline with this microphone right here. Delvin, why are you excited for no snow days? Everybody loves snow days. And cheers. So if this angle looks fine. I love the way the look of the camera with and also this goes off for battery saving at the side monitor that I was talking about in my review. But I just tap the shutter button and I could bring up the preview and I could see the autofocus system working. I could see the batteries fine. I could see. This is the neat part with this. The complaint that I have seen a lot with the EOS R was when you start recording, the histogram disappears. But when you're doing it this way, I'm actually not recording anything. This is just showing a live view, and the camera never turns off. The monitor turns off to save power. But when the monitor's on, excuse me, I can see the histogram. Not that bad. This is just another accidental thing I discovered. But what I am going to show you now, and I'm going to switch here to my second view. And with this, hello, as the audio is still coming from the main microphone in front right over here. And with this setup, so right here, this is the camera. That microphone I was going to use, but because the video was so jumpy, I would assume the audio would be jumpy. So that's where I grabbed my desk mic, and I'll try and put this down very carefully. My desk microphone, kind of like my podcasting microphone. So at least the audio is very, very nice, at least. And I can see the audio levels here. They're not dropping at all. They look pretty good. But I'm still seeing the side, on the preview side of this app, the video coming off the Canon camera. Yeah, it's jumpy. So there's something with this video encoder, and I don't know if you could see it. Let me see if I could take this down. So it's over here. That little black box on top of the yellow. That little black box on top of the yellow is the wireless video encoder, which it doesn't seem to be working that well. And the last time I tried using this with wireless, two big things. The battery sucks. And this is the Teradek video encoder that I normally use on the green screen. However, the green screen I have at Ethernet because with the green screen studio setup right over there, I have a Ethernet and basically a network switch and a router dedicated to that. This wasn't. I was just trying this. And Delvin, the stream delay, I don't know what the stream delay would be in this situation just because of this whole thing. But the idea with this, and I can actually do the swap, which for some reason, this is what sucks with the OBS Studio whenever I do the gaming, is I can't do swapping. Essentially, when you hit swap, it takes the preview and the live and swaps them, versus just a cross dissolve takes the preview and just moves that over to the live and just leaves that duplicated. But we'll see. I may just have to get this Etherneted in, or I may have to try and get a USB video capture device. So instead of going from the Canon camera here, HDMI out, into that little wireless video encoder, or Ethernet video encoder, it wouldn't go over the network. It would go over USB straight into the computer here. And I'll show you what looks like the whole view again here. And I love the two angles that I have. So I have swap, so this should work. Yes, and it's swapped the two of them. So the computer monitor that's over here, this, I would love to have that video capture card. So with the Canon camera, HDMI out and into the iMac over here. And then I would have OBS Studio running on the iMac. And with that, I can control everything much more seamlessly. The one thing I do like with these multi-views, I don't know how I would get multiple views with OBS Studio, because the two views I have right now, you can't see the other one, this side one. So, Canon camera, right over there. And I have my iPhone as the second one that you're seeing right now. That is my iPhone. And I'm going to swap these back. I love the swap. Alright, so this is the Ask Me Anything special. There we go. This is the Ask Me Anything special. So, first one of the year, Ask Me Anything. We're not really going to go too long today, maybe an hour. And I do have a little unboxing for you guys, too. Delvin, I have heard of Tierra del Fuego. And yes, that was one of the places. It could be midnight out and still daylight. So that would throw off your entire circadian rhythm, essentially. Circadian rhythm. Because you would think, oh, it's still light. I shouldn't be in bed yet, right? But it's midnight. And most of us are in bed by that time, although sometimes I'm not in bed, unfortunately, by that time. But the other times I do go to bed, especially during the summer when it gets really late out. I'm in bed before the sun sets because of the television job. And also the weather. So that'll be kind of the three things from this live stream. Will be ask me anything, any questions. Doesn't have to be weather or anything like that. The second thing would be the weather. Third would be the unboxing that I have over here, which you actually can't see, and I have it hidden from that view. The only unfortunate thing is with when I had to grab this microphone out. Let me switch back. So I have the iPad here. The iPad is this adapter goes from USB-C to USB, and then USB into this microphone right here. So it's tethered, essentially. I would have liked it. I've done a live stream like this before, where I was actually, I think I had the lav mic, so technically I could have had the second iPhone and have the lav mic in, but then I'd still have the Canon camera HDMI Wi-Fi issue there. So that really wouldn't have solved that. But this This is doing, I would have liked to have this untethered versus tethered, but it is what it is. Trying new experiments. Indirecto. Okay. Oh, or is it, if it's Spanish, indirecto. Directo. Wow, 4-hour archive. That's interesting. Also, a couple of things, couple of kind of channel updates. So, I just saw my last video, which was the Canon EOS R action review. What did I title it? Action review Canon EOS R. That video was the single most popular video, technically of the year. The year just started. But that was the single most popular video. Let me see. I'm just browsing through my video manager here. So far, I'm at 76 views, it looks like. I'm just looking for the last time I got 76 views, and this is going back before Halloween, even. The closest so far, 59 views, was Hurricanes and Nor'easters Are Coming. Games and Storms live stream, October 23rd, 2018. That was also the one that had the funny thumbnail. Let me see. Ooh, here's another one. This is not there. It's close. 67 views on this one. Games and Storms Live, Florence and VR Edition. So that was talking about Hurricane Florence, while the gaming part was with the VR headset. So that was 67, which is still not higher than this. Alright, going back. Now we're in August. And also, I'm going to be working on my 2018 Rewind video, too. So let's see. 40s, teens, 20s. That is my most popular video in a long time, it looks like. I don't know if there's a way... here we go. Okay. So I don't know if there's a way to find like an average view count in the analytics of the Creator Studio part. But the last time I had a large amount of views, May 24th, 2018, my show got canceled. I'm actually wearing the exact same shirt I'm wearing right now. This shirt, I like red's my favorite color. Well, second favorite color, I should say. Blue's my favorite color. But that live stream, May 24th, 7:22 p.m. What day of the week was that? Let's take a look. May 24th. The Thursday. Yeah, so the 23rd was the last time I worked with the Climate Matters show. That was with Be Terrific. Which I'm assuming Be Terrific is with CES right now, because the CES show in Las Vegas is going on. So yeah, my first show was Valentine's Day, February 14th, 2018, The Lonely Weatherman. Update, let's see. So then it was every week, minus a couple because of snowstorms. Until There it is. Until May 23rd. And then Thursday, May 24th, I went live with that "my show got canceled" video. But that one has 87 views. So I haven't had as many views since then until yesterday. So between May and January, those are the two popular videos. Interesting, Delvin. So their sunset is only 5 p.m. in the winter, but until 10 in the morning in June. Interesting. This actually got me curious when I was looking up my videos, what my most popular video is. Let's see what these YouTube analytics show. Oh, and this video actually made revenue on. That must have been, 2017. Yeah, so 2017 I was making revenue from YouTube. But then in the beginning of 2018, they changed their ways of making revenue, kind of in response to the Paul Logan video with the suicide forest. But that video, yeah, I did make some revenue on. This video, the #1 video all time, lifetime of the channel, 569 views. And the name of this video, "This will change the landscape of Florida, tracking Irma." My Hurricane Irma video is my #1 video. 569 views, 1,619 watch minutes. And then right up #2, climate change, which I'll probably be making another climate change video soon too, because that's a big topic right now, and there's some new stuff to discuss, because I won't get too much in depth with the climate change. But the Trump's administration, basically, they did a research study with this, and they concluded that there is evidence suggesting that there is climate change, but President Trump is denying his own administration. So, aside from the politics, which in this case, it's just really hard to separate the politics from the science, because of the mess of the government right now. But I'm going to make another video that's going to be discussing all of that. And how's this camera doing? Still good on battery? It's not recording, so the storage doesn't matter. It's a little overexposed. Ooh, no, don't do that. Well, I guess we'll leave it right there for now. I don't want to mess up anything else. Why is it on ISO auto? I don't want an ISO auto. Too bright. There we go. That looks good. What is that? ISO 400. That looks the best right there. And in this camera with video, excuse me, You don't want to go below ISO 400 because that goes into this L ISO, which is this artificial ISO, which goes below the camera's minimum, which technically it can do, but usually I don't. And this control ring, I think still works. Yep, so I could slowly change the aperture. So essentially, as I'm twisting this, you'll see it slowly gets darker and slowly gets brighter. That's an old style lens thing where they were just manual lenses. Still had two rings. The front ring was an aperture control ring. The second ring was a focus ring. Excuse me, but what I'm doing here, this is on autofocus and it's face tracking, so I see the box tracking my face, which is great. Actually, I'll bump that up one there. It's kind of in the middle, but that works. Ooh, hello everybody. And Delvin, thank you for telling me the audio's 10 out of 10. That's why I did, and for anybody just joining, I'll switch back. Hello. So with the audio, I have this microphone right here. This is connected to my iPad. So the iPad's the one that's actually streaming this whole live stream setup to YouTube. So it's a hardline connection from the audio from the microphone going into the iPad. I chose that because the camera, the Canon camera, although it's great and I love the way everything is set up here. Let me reposition there. Hello. Alright. So I can still see the camera's view because of the side monitor, but I still love the way everything looks coming out of the camera. The only issue, so I have HDMI out, and I also, that's another thing I didn't mention in my EOS R action review video. HDMI out of this is clean HDMI. And if you get into camera stuff, you actually have 10-bit, which is a very high quality or high data dense bit rate coming out of the camera. So it does 10-bit 4K 30 recording in C-Log, which is Canon's log, and it does that over HDMI out. However, the box that I have this HDMI out into, which is the box right over there, it's an internet-based encoder. Right now it's on Wi-Fi. Usually when I'm at the studio on the side there with the green screen studio, this I have over Ethernet, which is much more stable, and I could still see every few seconds it just drops a frame here and there. I don't know why it's doing that. Nothing else. And I'm watching the feed right now from the iPhone, which is what I'm on right now. That looks totally fine. So it's not a network issue that I'm having. Which is also what YouTube is saying, because with YouTube and the streaming coming out of the iPad, it's saying that stream health is good. Stream health is good. This iPhone view camera, I don't see any drop frames with that. That totally looks fine. But now that when I'm going to switch back to my main camera, which is the Canon camera here from the camera I had over there, which is the iPhone, it's skipping frames essentially. I would say drop frames are kind of random, but this is not random. It's literally every few seconds it's skipping frames. I don't know why. It doesn't do this when I have it on Ethernet, which is the interesting thing. So I don't know if it's the Wi-Fi that's failing on this device, or if it just, that's how it always is. And some beer. Just reviewing all your chats here. Oh, Anthony. Hello. I didn't see you there. Thank you for joining, Anthony. The ad revenue. Okay. Anthony, thank you for your question there. It is punishing all. That the one YouTube creator of Logan Paul, he really screwed it up for all of YouTube content creators. So, yes, it is unfair, but that's the way it is. YouTube is our overlord, and we have to follow the overlord. The other thing, too, is their idea was if you have less than 1,000 subscribers, which I'm at a 10th, I'm at 101 subscribers as of this. If you're making revenue off of, say, 100 subscribers worth, you're probably not making a lot. Excuse me. I was looking back, and I was making maybe $5 a month, $10 a month. It wasn't a lot. It was less than $10 a month, let's say, I was making. Just kind of an overview of that. So less than $10 a month. That is nothing that you're going to be survived. If that was your sole job, was YouTube, and you're making less than $10 a month, that would be your yearly salary is about $120 or $100 to $120 a year. You cannot survive off of that. Yeah, it was nice that I was having a little extra revenue that I could claim as business income, because all the revenue coming from YouTube was business income for this whole Weather Chaser consulting business that I have with the studio that I built. But the rules changed because of that video, and the rules now state you have 2 requirements to make revenue. Number 1, you have to have 1,000 subscribers at least. Number 2, you have to have 4,000 watch hours, I believe, of 12 month time. So in the past 12 months, you have to have 4,000 hours. And I can look up that requirement actually right now. The HDMI box made some popping noises. All right. Monetization. I'm just looking this up. Oh, the other thing too is super chats. Some YouTube channels that have the super chats turned on, essentially, once you're getting a lot of people commenting, to prioritize your chat, you could actually pay me to prioritize your chat. But here, watch hours. Yep. So you need 4,000 watch hours in the past 12 months and 1,000 subscribers. So I have 445 watch hours in the past 12 months and 101 subscribers. So let's do the math here. I'm at 101 subscribers. We multiply that by 10. I'll be at 1,010 subscribers, let's say at that point. That also means I will be at 4,450 watch hours. So in the current rate of the videos that I keep putting out for you guys, and I thank you guys for watching, and hopefully as more people join and subscribe to the channel, which if you're not subscribed, I would really appreciate, that all of that watch hour time mathematically looks very linear. 100 subscribers, multiply it by 10, I get to 1,000. 445 watch hours, multiply that by 10. And then I would be at the minimum, or above the minimum, to make revenue again. So I just need to get 10 times more of the amount of subscribers. And then that should mathematically be very linear and give me the minimum watch hour requirement to make revenue. Unless they change it again. Yeah, they didn't actually take down his channel. I think they did for a little bit, but they... Oh, I know what they did. They banned him from making revenue. So sure, he can still upload videos and he can still go through whatever he wants to go through on his channel as long as it follows the rules, which I'm hoping he does because that would actually affect all of us again. But he doesn't make revenue. I think that was the punishment. Even though he has the subscribers by far and the watch hours to make revenue, he's banned from making revenue. I was actually just watching the stream itself versus with the iPad. They actually look very similar. It's every few seconds, it just skips a frame or skips a couple frames. It's something with that device. Don't know why. Oh, the other thing too, that I don't think I mentioned this in the EOS R action review, the last video. These batteries, they're great. Let me switch over. So the other thing, I'm not actually going to take the battery out of the camera while I'm streaming, but this also, these mirrorless DSLRs, they're not really, what was it, DSL-M, I think it's called, DSL-M, digital single lens mirrorless, because the R is reflex. And the reflex part in a DSLR is where you have this mirror at an angle. So when you're looking through the viewfinder, you're looking at the reflection coming off the mirror, going up into the viewfinder, and then over into the eyepiece. And the reflex part is when you press the shutter button, the mirror comes up, exposing the sensor, so the light goes straight onto the sensor, and it comes back down. And when you're taking continuous shots, this mirror is just flapping. It's flapping up and down very fast. That's why on press events, press conferences, anything like that, you hear this clack, 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 clack from all the cameras because they're using DSLRs, and that's the mirror part going up and down. It's not necessarily the shutter. Yes, the mirrorless camera does have a shutter in there, but it's not very loud. And the shutter is just a curtain, basically, that just opens and closes. The mirror going up and down, that makes that clacking sound. That is what you hear with all these press events or the paparazzi trying to follow celebrities. That's where you hear that clacking sound coming out of the camera. Not necessarily the shutter. It's more so the mirror that you're hearing. So with these mirrorless cameras, they're not as loud. Yeah, you're still going to hear that shutter, but you're not hearing the clacking of the mirror flapping and the shutter, because you would hear both. Mirror goes up, shutter flips, mirror goes down. That's the reflex part. So these are DSLM, not DSLR. So that's what these are. And yeah, it's still just dropping frames. Although it's really good quality frames. I really like the video quality here, which is why I'm going to switch back right now. Hey! From there to there. This is kind of neat. I'm having fun. I hope you guys are having fun too. Raymond, it's your birthday today. Well, happy birthday, Raymond. I didn't see that. I do apologize for not seeing that, but happy birthday. Thank you for joining the stream on your birthday. How was your day so far? Did you do anything special for your birthday? I'm not going to ask your age because if you don't want to share, you don't have to share on the stream for the whole internet to find out. What's some other comments here? And yes, Delvin, even on lower video quality, frames drop. All because of wireless. Wireless connections, you're going to have some dropping. However, the iPhone And I'm just watching the preview of the iPhone on the side. It's really not dropping frames. Excuse me. And I will show here in the input section of this app, it shows packets lost. It actually didn't lose any packets. That is weird. So, the one that looks smooth, which I'm looking at right now, which is the iPhone, it says it lost 1,365 packets. The Teradek VidiU, which I'm using that's connected to the EOS R here, says it lost 0. I think that's opposite. I don't know why it's showing that so weirdly. But it is what it is. Oh, that's fine. You don't need any alcohol on your birthday to have fun. Like today, since this is the kind of a loosey-goosey kind of stream, I'll explain some situations from what was happening for this week. And I'll kind of tell you my upload/stream schedule for the week. So this week, two big things are happening right now. The CES, Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, and in Phoenix, Arizona, the American Meteorological Society Conference. Now, for legal reasons, I'm not able to actually go and cover the Consumer Electronics Show. But for the television part and just for my own, I guess, experience and my own development, I was going to go to the American Meteorological Society Conference. Now, a couple things happened. And this is, I don't like to bash on politics, but it is related to this. So I was planning on going. I was going to fly out Sunday, get to the hotel Sunday night, and be ready to go Monday. And then this whole week I was going to be there, Monday through Friday. I would fly back on Saturday, and then Sunday I would just have a day off. That was the plan. However, with the government shutdown, that kind of threw some things off, specifically with the American Meteorological Society. Now, there were some presenters there that I was going to go to see their presentations and their lectures that were National Weather Service employees. And there was a group of National Weather... with the whole American Meteorological Society, there's a good chunk that are National Weather Service employees. They can't go because they're not getting paid. They're getting furloughed. So that's causing a little bit of an issue. That was number one. Number two, the TSA agents. I'm not sure if anybody has followed this, but the airports, the lines are really getting backed up because these TSA agents, they're getting furloughed, but they're being forced to go to work and not get paid, which I thought was illegal. I guess government workers are a little different. I don't know. But they're being forced to go to work and not get paid. They're basically forced to volunteer their own time. So what's happening is those that have accumulated quite a bit of sick time are calling out sick, so they're not showing up to work. So out of, say, LaGuardia, don't want to touch the microphone, out of, say, LaGuardia, you may only have one TSA agent that's working and checking everybody, just that one agent. There was a report saying, I don't know how accurate it is, but sick call-outs have gone up 300%, which is, it could be an issue because of the security checks and everything that has to go through it. If you only have one person that's doing security checks on thousands of people, that's going to take a long time. So that kind of stopped me from flying too. So that's why I have a staycation this week. So I was off today. I went and I actually visited my old childhood home, which was about an hour away. It was kind of a nostalgic feeling. It was kind of a nice sense to go back, but the one thing I did like, and this is kind of something that I just really had to do, was when I went there, I really felt like that was home. Not where I am now is home, but that was home. However, that was home of the past, which is what I was hoping I was going to feel, and I did. It was the feeling of, this is where I grew up. This is always going to be my home. But this is not my home now, and this is not going to be my home in the future. So it was a very nostalgic feeling going back up there. But it was a sense of completion or something like that. There's coming full circle, saying, yes, I felt this energy that was there when I was young. But where I am now is really great. And this is my future here with you guys on television and with my other job too. That's my future, not going almost a decade into the past. I haven't been up there in about 7 years. So going back, I was basically doing a time travel, going back 7 years. Yes, it was nostalgic, but it was a nice feeling to say I could put my past to rest. I got deep. What are we saying here? NBC. So I'm not exactly sure what you meant by that. I think The More You Know on NBC is good at from 9:30 every Saturday. I'm not sure what you mean by the NBC part. And yes, I would assume, Delvin, not just the GFS but the NAM as well, because those are both U.S. forecast models. Which, let me see here. I was about to message some of my colleagues like Joe Chaffee about that, because that was something I never even thought of. If a bug pops up in the GFS, no one's there to fix it. But I will use the computer here. What? There we go. You know what's funny here with Facebook? They're showing me deals of things I bought already. That I bought on the sale that's happening right now. And I'm going to mention you guys, and Delvin, that was you that mentioned that, right, with the GFS? Yes, that was you, Delvin. I'm actually going to mention that to Joe Chaffee and the gang here. All right, I sent that out, and we'll see what the response is. Oh, the NAM could recover. I'm not sure what you. The programming of these forecast models, I am not sure how they work, but it's interesting you said the NAM could recover just fine. And Delvin, at least thank you for joining. I know you gotta go, but thanks for tuning in, enjoying some chat with me. And Delvin, I'll see you around the next stream, which will be tomorrow. I'll be doing my Games and Storms live stream, but it may not actually be anything with video games. It may actually be with a system rebuild. I'm not exactly sure. It's either going to be, the two options are going to be at the gaming computer doing the gaming, or doing something special to the gaming computer. We shall see. Because what's happening, one of my friends, I have my old gaming parts, which are, over there on the side over here. Those gaming parts are just sitting there. He was looking at getting into virtual reality. So I said, hey, I got a bunch of parts just laying around. And what I did was I actually bought a second computer case to put my gaming components that I'm using right now in, and then the gaming computer case that I'm using now, I would put the old parts in, or I would help my friend actually build his first gaming computer, and we would build those parts into the old computer case that I'm using right now. And when we would do that, we would actually live stream it, maybe. That'd be kind of a neat live stream, seeing someone building their first gaming computer. Thank you, Delvin. I'll have to take a look at that Washington Post article. And you go offline now. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Looks like I need a refill. I'll be right back. All right, hello. I think the audio is back. I'm looking at the audio levels. They look good. That's really cool. I do like this audio mixer, kind of built right into the iPad. All right, so we are back. And what I'm going to be doing now the current dew point. Let's see. What's the current dew point? 8.6. So let's say 9. I think in the city, and I could look this up too, Anthony. It was... Yeah, it was 0, I think. Also, there's one other thing I'm going to do real quick. I'll be right All right, now the audio's back. So yeah, 0 degree dew point. Let me see what the dew point currently is in the city. Let's go to weather.gov, which is a government site, but it's still working. And ooh, we got quite a bit of some winter weather advisories out there. Oh, is it snowing? Do you guys have any snow around you? I think there was some snow a little bit earlier. Yeah, see the line, the first line that brought some flakes. I'm on the OKX, the ice slip radar right now. And do you see the line that made its way through? Pretty sharp line. But that's not the main system. For this, let's see. I'm going to Pennsylvania. KCCX. I'm not sure what the name of that is, but yeah, wow. There's some intense snowfall there. Well, not really intense, but decent, I should say. And over the years, looking at so many radar images, I have seen, it just looks, if I just glance at a radar, I could tell it's snow. And the way I can tell it's snow without looking at something like precipitation depiction is just on the resolution. So a raindrop and a snowflake, for the most part, on average, are different sizes. A snowflake is typically smaller than a raindrop. And because of the smaller snowflakes, the way the radar bounces off all the flakes and comes back, they're smaller. Kind of like smaller pixels. When you have smaller pixels, you have an in the same amount of area, and you can fit more in there. So you have an increased DPI, or dots per inch, or PPI, pixels per inch. DPI is kind of like just for printers, but you have an increased pixels per inch. And the PPI is something I can just see at this point. But let me actually go to the precipitation depiction. And it's snow and sleet. So there's that little bit of a mix, some snow, and then there's some rain towards the southern part. And this is the southern part I'm looking at right now is going from Pennsylvania into a little bit of West Virginia. Yeah, I guess a little bit of Maryland as well. Maryland. But in all fairness, there's snow, there's rain, then there's the mix, then there's snow, then there's more mix. But we're really cold where we are right now, so that's going to be making its way over. So let me see if I can get back the dew point reading at Central Park. KNYC. Go. Oh, the site's broken. Oh no. There we go. Dew point 9. So it's 9. Yeah, so the dew point is pretty much what I had 8.6 dew point degrees Fahrenheit, and this is 9 degrees Fahrenheit. So it is really dry. Excuse me, it was a long day. Especially, I guess you could say a little bit emotional. Oh, fancy. One of my friends is now a doctor. Oh. This is identifying small molecules from phytopathogenetic bacteria. Doctor. I'm not gonna say her name. I'm not sure if she would want me to say it publicly on the stream like this. But if you're watching, congratulations. That is quite an accomplishment to get a PhD. Another one of my friends, I think he was going for his PhD. I don't know how that turned out for him. Alright. So that's that. 9-degree dew point. And I'm going to switch over here. Let's get cracking on this. And this is going to be it for the night. I'm getting tired. There's the nice. Psst. And we'll get to the knife in just a bit. Because we're gonna do an unboxing still. Stick around for the unboxing. It's gonna be a good one, hopefully. Maybe. I don't know if it's gonna be a good unboxing. It's an unboxing. I've never done an unboxing live on YouTube before. The other thing I'm watching, the thermostat on the wall. As the studio's active right now with a lot of equipment going, let me just check the battery on this. Ooh, the battery's going. Which is why I'm kind of glad I've started charging the other one. But when this one actually goes, I will switch over to the other battery and hopefully it has some charge by that point. I don't know if this can actually stay active over USB because I can charge the Canon camera over USB-C, which is kind of nice. And I do have both of these cameras kind of running out of battery, so that may be the ultimate deciding factor. Let me switch back to this one, and I'm going to check now the iPhone. So the iPhone, I do have about 15% battery life left. And the EOS R is just blinking red. So that's going to go soon. And I'm going to hopefully keep watching until the point where it does just drop out. And when it does, which is a good thing, the stream won't be affected because the Canon camera is not actually the one sending out the signal. It's going over HDMI. And that will just stop the HDMI receiving and just receive it again once the battery goes up. So I'll keep letting that other one charge for a bit more until this one's actually dead. And then we'll switch. And then the iPhone's still got a little bit left. So, cheers. All right. Is it time for an unboxing? Maybe another swig. All right. I think it's time for an unboxing. I don't know how the audio is going to do once I stand up a little bit more. But, all right. We got the switch over there. And let's get this unboxing. Alright, so the way, before I get to the unboxing, the actual item itself, the way I'll show you what's happening here. So I have my iMac over here. That's my main video editor. Okay, there we go. So my iMac over here, that's my main video editor. Underneath the table here, I don't think you can see, yeah, you can't actually see it. But under the table, I have a Mac Pro. It's a 2010 Mac Pro that has the drive bays. I have four 6 terabyte hard drives in there. 6 times 4, 24. So I have 24 terabytes of storage in there, and I have it set up in a RAID array that's called RAID 10, which is a nested RAID. So 2 drives are redundant to each other, meaning whatever gets written to one gets written to the other. Same thing on the other 2. Those 2 are redundant. And then together, the 4 drives are striped, it's called. So half the data is written to one, half the data is written to the other. But the way that these are kind of redundant to each other, I can have 2 drives fail, and I would still not lose any data. I would have to have 3 hard drives fail in this system to actually have data loss, which is decent. It's not it's not actually a backup system. It's just a redundancy system. I do have a true backup system, which is a hard drive I have sitting over here that takes the backup from the RAID array. So I'm covered there. Losing data is something that hopefully you never have to go through. I've had it occasionally. And that's something I hope you don't have to go through. And here's just the robotic cyborg parts that I'm going through with the insulin pump, essentially. Kind of like a cyborg. I've talked about that. And I actually did have a YouTube video with I'm a Cyborg. Alright, so that's going. I still see the Canon camera is working. Let's see if it's still blinking red. It is still blinking red, but it's working, which I'm fine with. All right, so I got that set. Now take another swig. And now, on to an unboxing. Alright, so let's do this. So what I was saying before was, I have the iMac here, that's my main editing machine. Underneath the table I have the Mac Pro that has the server, or houses the server. Then I have the backup drive here that's connected to the Mac Pro, so it's backing up the server. All of that takes power. And what happens if there's a power failure? If that's what's the problem with striped RAID system. If something happens where one drive doesn't capture the proper amount of data, the whole thing is destroyed. That's what's very unsafe with RAID 0. Yeah, you're getting speed out of that, but you're not getting the safety as a RAID 1. So I like to keep a cautious eye on things. So with that backup system, I also had a battery backup power adapter. So that had 8 plugs. The old one I think has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It has 6 plugs that are connected to the battery. and 3 plugs that are just on a surge protector. That failed. So it failed. I contacted, it was APC. I contacted them. They had some tests. They sent out another battery. I didn't think the battery was the issue. I think the whole unit failed. I put the new battery in, and lo and behold, it didn't do anything. So they sent out another whole unit. About a month after that, so I bought it, and then maybe 2 months after I bought it, that happened. Actually, no, it was about a year. So it was a 3-year warranty, and about a year in, that happened. And then about a month or two after I got the replacement, then it failed again. And I haven't called APC for the warranty on that. I don't know if I like this model if it keeps failing. So that's what I got. I got another battery backup system. This one's from CyberPower. I think this one's also a higher wattage. Or VA volt something, 810 watts. I think that should be good enough because, say, the Mac Pro would be using 300 at most. The iMac would be using 200 at most, so that's about 500. That's really it. That would have plugged maybe the printer, but the printers don't use a lot. This extra monitor is connected to the Mac Pro. That's using not a lot either, but that I really only have on when I'm accessing the server directly, which is what this keyboard and trackpad setup is for. That's to access the server. Otherwise, through the iMac and through any other computer I have throughout the whole building, I can then access the server. So direct access is the only time I need that monitor. That would be plugged in. And then the only other thing I don't have set up yet, this device, just like I said in the beginning of the stream, I don't have the network. I'll actually switch back here. This device. There we go. 5 network ports. You basically have 1 in, 4 out. This is from Netgear. Is that in focus? Can I do that? Well, there it goes. There we go. That's what I have. The Netgear ProSafe Gigabit Switch GS105. And that I would be using to have the server connected directly to the routers. And basically the studio in here would be all hooked up to these. This I need Ethernet. So I don't have an Ethernet connection into the studio right now. That's the problem. So that's going to be hopefully solved this upcoming year. That all depends on clients and getting more pay, which would be nice. But for now, it was all about the integrity of the data that I have already, which I've started this in 2017. February 2017 is kind of when I started this whole journey. And that's when I think I did my first video in this studio, which was an echoey mess. Because the whole studio was empty and it was just straight walls off each other, which is terrible for audio. Alright, so now let's actually get into the unboxing. This is where I would have liked actually having the iPad with me because I could see a little bit better. But here it is. Oh, it's heavy. Oh. I don't think I need the knife. I have the knife ready, but I don't think I need the knife. Let's see. Some of the stats that are on here. Digital video recorder while recording, 420 minutes. Not bad. 21-inch iMac. 27-inch iMac, so it's going to use more. 58 minutes. And then the one, if I'm actually doing video editing, this would probably be the closest. 32-inch LCD television, PS4 game console. 24 minutes. So the idea is not to actually run and do work off the battery. It's designed so if a power failure happens, it's enough time to find a good stopping point, stop what you're doing, and close and shut down. That's the idea. Oh, it has USB ports as well. Box. Instruction manual, and there's a USB port, a USB cord in here. I'll hold that on the side. Power cord looks like it's attached. Let's see what this is saying. So the power cord here, I apologize for the foam sound. Looks like it's actually attached. So let's start getting these pieces off. 4 pieces of foam on the corners. Almost at the power cord for the Canon camera, which is still going. I see it on the iPad. It's still going. Hello. It's still going right now, which is great. And I was right. This, oh, it's heavy. The main power cord is physically attached. This I won't be setting up tonight. I will probably just plug it in, make sure it works. Ooh, I want to drop it. But I'm going to see if I can get a kind of close here. Alright. There we go. So these ports here say Surge plus battery. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These just say Surge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 10 total ports on here. Oh, I gotta put this down. Okay. So besides the 10 outlets that are actually on here, it has network. It has a network Ethernet surge protector, which is what I'm going to use in tandem with the network, the Netgear network switch that I have. So that's going to have Ethernet coming from outside in through the cable modem, network in, network out. That's going to provide any kind of power surges or surge protection from Ethernet type power surges, which is really good too. I don't have anything for cable down here because everything is all just off the internet. Apple TV I have, which is also used as a second monitor for the television set, so when we have big weather events, which stay tuned and subscribe because we may have something to talk about coming up for this weekend. The Apple TV would be used as kind of a monitor, a second monitor for the iMac. Where on the big screen I would have, and I've had videos like this before if you want to search through some of the videos. But there, I've had like radar on here, radar satellite on the big screen, and then on the screen over here, I've had the forecast models. So I wouldn't use these cable ports. Serial, I have no idea what serial would be used for. And there's USB, but this is full-size USB-B, which is why they provide the cable. I'm assuming it has to do with some sort of software update or some sort of automatic thing where once power's cut to the battery backup, it'll automatically save, close, and shut down the computer. So that's the back. And then there's a circuit breaker reset switch if there is some sort of surge. That's the back. The front. Oh, wait. Gotta get close on the arm here. Close to the microphone. Are you ready for the plastic peel? Something so satisfying about that. So we got a display here, 2 USB ports, and these USB ports are actually for charging. So I gotta figure out where I would want this power battery backup, because then I could actually plug USB straight into there, which would be kind of neat. This will probably take some time to charge up, so I may just plug it in overnight. So that I will deal with a little bit after the stream as well. Oh, it looks like it's dead. So, I'll get the other battery for the Canon. And then here we're going to do a little swapperoo, essentially. This is where these are more photography oriented. Which the GorillaPod that I have on here allows the battery access. And essentially I have the other partially charged battery. And here's a little release. The dead battery comes out, the good battery goes in, door closes, and it knows when the door is closed or not. So I have that back up, and that's about halfway charged. So I'm going to plug this one, the dead one, back in, and I'll be right back. Alright, I am back. So I got this one up and ready. I see it ready on here. So I'm going to switch. Beautiful. Alright, any new comments here? I don't see anything new. it did exactly. So the settings saved as well because the flip out screen, the side monitor I call it, it went out, but the camera's still on because I could see the aperture is wide open. When this camera's the Canon EOS R, when it's actually turned off, it looks like the aperture closes halfway. So say this is f1.8, that goes up to f22. So maybe this would be f10. It's kind of around f8, f10, something like that, when it actually closes down. Kind of interesting. I don't know if that has to deal with protecting the lens. Because, the 24-105 lens I just got, which I really haven't used, it has a lock on there for the zoom ring. That's the only mechanical part. The focus ring is by wire. So you're just turning a knob, and there's basically electrical sensors in there. So like drive-by-wire, you have focus-by-wire, and then the control ring, which you have on here as well. So as I turn this control ring, this is changing aperture, so it got darker, and it got brighter there once I went back to f1.8. So those are the really only two rings on there, on this lens at least, and they're both turned by wire. The only other one on the other lens is the focus ring, and that's mechanical, and that actually locks in place, which is kind of neat. What we got? Been an hour 15. I thought I heard something. But anyway, I got my unboxing. In terms of other weather things, let's see what's happening right now. It doesn't look like much, but I do see some icing or sleeting happening. Oh, and is there some out there right now? Depending on exactly where you are, you may be seeing some sleet right now. Specifically, Binghamton, and then going back into central Pennsylvania. Ooh, Albany seeing some snow flurries, it looks like. The Albany radar, I should say, not Albany itself. And that's the New York going into Vermont. There's some snow there. And it's sleeting now going into Boston, it looks like. This is just so weird. 10:07, 10:06. So these are updating the same way, but the Islip KOKX and the Boston KBOX, the radar, at least the precipitation depiction, looks very different. Let me see if I can go back to Super Res. It looks very different between these two radar stations, which is dumbfounding. Okay. Now for some quick weather chat. So besides what's happening tonight and going into tomorrow with a little bit of wintry mix turning into some rain, that will be with us for tomorrow. And we're going to not see the system end tomorrow morning. It's just the wintry mix part. That will be ending tomorrow morning. Then, going throughout the rest of the week, Some of these showers that we'll be seeing through Tuesday and maybe again Tuesday night could linger a little bit into Wednesday. And then Wednesday itself is just really the first part of the day. That's where we're going to see the showers. It starts clearing out after that, but then Thursday looks like another breezy day. When I was looking at the forecast models, the isobars, they're getting close together. And when the isobars get close together, that has to do with the pressure gradient. And it's kind of like a topographical map. The topographical map, that does, it shows you terrain gradients. Well, this is a pressure gradient. When those lines get close together, the pressure gradient increases. And when the pressure gradient is increasing, that means that you have high winds. So we may see that Thursday. Now, the only other issue that I see kind of out there, Friday and Saturday weren't really anything to talk about. It's going to be Sunday. Sunday's the big thing. And I'm going to take a look at a couple of forecast models to round out this live stream for you guys. So the first one, let's take a look at the GFS, which, as Delvin was saying, is actually having some bugs right now. And because of the government shutdown, there's no National Weather Service employees to actually fix the bug. So there's the tight pressure gradient. Saturday looks fine. Now Sunday. This is an intense system, but it's the track is not certain right now. The track, if it's a bit forced south, which is what the GFS 0Z run. Right? Oh no, this is the 18Z run. There we go. The 18Z run from today, Monday, January 7th. Right? 7th? Yeah, 7th. The 18Z run. That one's showing it a bit more south, which means the heavy snow is going to be closer to Cape May. That's that. And then let's take a look at the Icon model. Well, the timing on the Icon, it's actually not finished running. So I'm going to have to go back one. And that doesn't go through Sunday. Let's try this. So the one I'm looking is the Icon model 12Z. And that's also showing a southerly pass, which may mean some heavy snow again for Cape May in New Jersey. But that's about it. The NAM won't go out that far. The only other one is going to be the Euro, which I could just talk to you guys about, but I can't actually show. So this is why I'm not just showing any of the forecast models, just because why not? Let's see. We're going to go to the special website I have access to, being a TV meteorologist. Just logging in. And let's take a look at a couple here. We're going to look at the Euro. That one's also just starting its run. So I'm going to go back to the 12Z Euro from today. And we're going to go to that Sunday. And it's also showing a southerly pass and maybe some heavy snow again for Cape May, but that's really about it. And then, what else? We're going to take a look at the RPM. I don't think that's going to go out as far. So I'm going to look at the IBM Deep Thunder model. And let's see what that's, or at least how far out that goes. Oh, that goes to Monday, so we're fine with that. So let's let that take a roll. We're on Thursday now. High pressure gradient with those isobars. Sunday, it does still show a southerly pass. And this is even more south than Cape May. This is going into like Virginia, North Carolina. That's where it was showing the passing through. So that's interesting. So it looks like maybe more of a southerly pass where it may not be affecting us in the tri-state area. Anything north of that, so the Boston area, New England, none of that will be really in this, at least from right now. What I want you guys to do is stay tuned throughout the week. Hit that subscribe button below and the little bell icon right next to that so you get notified whenever I upload a video or I do go live. And I might be trying to go live tomorrow with the Games and Storms live stream. But that pretty much wraps up this live stream. Thank you guys for joining. Raymond, excuse me one sec. Okay, there we go. Raymond, if you are still watching, again, happy birthday. Thank you for taking some time out of your birthday to share with me in the live stream. I will see you guys in the next video, which looks like it'll be tomorrow with the Games and Storms. And just a quick little teaser. It's either going to be one of two things. Let me bring this up. There's my name banner. So it'll be one of two things for tomorrow with the Games and Storms. It's going to be just a regular Games and Storms where I'm playing a video game. Oh, excuse me. Where we would start with some weather discussion and play some video games. Or I may be trying to do a rebuild. But I'm not sure if I'm going to wait for my friend to see if he can get some parts. Because I don't have a complete system for him. I got a good amount. But he's got a couple things he has to try and get used. And we'll build the computer. Maybe we'll do that on a live stream one time. And then Wednesday, I should be around for Back at the Green Screen. The first actual weather podcast of 2019 should be this Wednesday. Thursday is going to be a little bit interesting. I might see if I can get a car video up. I haven't done any car videos in a while. Also, Thursday, I'm going to have my friend Mario come to the studio and we're going to do some filming. I am writing that short story that's called Spectra. That was with the trailer that I had from Halloween, the Halloween special. We're going to be doing a fight scene. And he works with, and I'm not sure if he's coming over with this guy, but on television, the television series Gotham, he knows the fight choreographer. So we're going to be doing some fight scenes. And we're going to be working out of the studio here and just actually outside of the studio doing some fight filming. That'd be kind of fun, and that's to be part of this short film that I'm going to be doing. We'll see how that goes. Kind of exciting. I've never really done anything like that before. So that, again, wraps up this live stream. Thank you all for joining, and I will see you all in the next video. Have a good night.